I'm going to be talking a bit more about the senses. Children, can you tell me what our senses are? Or just give me one. Just give me one. Yes. Sight. Can we point to our eyes? Yeah, sight. Can I have another one, please? Yes. Smell. What do we use to smell with? Very good. Can we all touch our nose? Brilliant. Can I have another sense, please? Anyone else? Because you've given me a good one already. Anyone else? So we've had sight, smell, yes? Touch. What do we use to touch? Richard says everything, you're right. We're going to talk about our hands today. We use our hands to touch. What else have we got? I think we've done 3, haven't we? What else have we got? Sometimes at preschool we do this. Yes? Taste. We use what do we use to taste? Yeah. Our tongue. Very good. You're good here. And we've got one last one. What's the last one? I've got lost now. Oh, no, I remember now. Yes. Hearing. What do we use to hear? Can we all touch them? How many have you got? 2. 5? 2. Very good. Now, we're all ready for my song. We all know the words now, but we're going to do a little bit of signing. The first verse is, I use my eyes to see, I use my eyes to see, I use my eyes to see a star. We're going to do that. I use my eyes to see. And it's a well-known tune. You'll pick it up as we go along. So, ready? I use my eyes to see, I use my eyes to see, and when I want to see a star, I use my eyes to see. Now we're going to use our nose to smell. I use my nose to smell, I use my nose to smell, and when I want to smell a flower, that's how we're going to sign flower. You're just holding a flower by its stalk. Ready? I use my nose to smell, I use my nose to smell, and when I want to smell a flower, I use my nose to smell. Very good. Now tongue to taste, and it's when I want to taste an orange. The sign for orange is this. We're going to squeeze the orange. Ready? I use my tongue to taste, I use my tongue to taste, and when I want to taste an orange, I use my tongue to taste. Now we're going to use our ears, and it's when I want to hear a bird. Can you do that with your 2 fingers? A bird. I use my ears to hear, I use my ears to hear, and when I want to hear a bird, I use my ears to hear. And the last one, our hands. I use my hands to touch, and when I want to touch a cat, we're going to do some whiskers. Ready? Yeah, with our hands. Yes, with whiskers. I use my hands to touch, I use my hands to touch, and when I want to touch a cat, I use my hands to touch. Very good, that's our senses song. So we have 5 senses. Now, I've given somebody a CD. I'm not sure, where would the CD? Yeah. Do you mind just putting it on? Because we're going to just listen to a few sounds, and I wonder if you can recognise them just by using your ears. Pardon? Yes, please. Thank you. Where's the sheep? You thought it was a cow. Somebody else thought it was a sheep. Keep listening. It's going to change now. Oh. There's no one playing over there, is there? What can you hear? I think someone's teasing me over here. Good boy. Guitar. Let's listen to another one. We're just going to listen to 4 sounds. So you're all using your sense of hearing. Could be. What do you think? What do you think? Fireworks. Fantastic. Fireworks. And let's listen to one more. Well done. Well done, thank you, that's lovely. So we all used our ears to hear, didn't we? Some of us are really good at listening. Some of us need to practice a bit more, don't we? We can tune our ears in, and that's a really good thing to do. Now, I've got something in my bag, and I'm going to demonstrate all 5 senses with this thing. So I'm going to get it out. What's this? An apple. So you've looked at it, haven't you? You've used your eyes. Now, I thought I must go to our fruit bowl and find an apple, and I couldn't believe how tiny these apples were. And I thought, shall we pop into Sainsbury's on our way over? And I thought, oh, it'll do. So I've got an apple, so you've looked at it. Now, what I'm going to do this. What am I doing now? What do you think it smells like? It does smell like an apple. Funny that, isn't it? It smells like an apple. Now I'm going to touch it. What do you think this apple feels like? It does feel smooth. What a good word. Anybody else? Cold. Do you know, you're quite right. It is cold. It's a cold, smooth apple. Any other ideas? Yeah? Yes, it does. It is a round shape, isn't it? Well done. Right. So we've looked at it. I've smelt it. I've touched it. What else do I need to do? Shall I? Right, let's see if this worked. So let's see if you can listen to what I'm going to do now. Did you hear that sound? What was the sound? It was a crunch, wasn't it? And I'm also tasting it. What do you think it tastes like? It does taste like an apple. Any other like? Yes, sweet. Sometimes they're sour, aren't they? Sometimes they're sour. Cooking apples are sour, aren't they? You're really good at guessing. Yeah? Juicy. This is a juicy apple. I know it's small, but it is juicy. So I've shown you all 5 senses with the apple. When I've done this talk before in the evening, I've actually demonstrated with a bottle of wine, which is great fun. But I thought apple today. Right. Now, a few months ago, I decided to give myself a retreat. And a retreat is just some time out. I'd had a very, very busy time. And I thought, I need to book a few nights somewhere. So I decided to go to Cardiff. And I got a very good deal in a hotel and had 2 nights there. And I had a really nice time, just time to myself, lots of quiet. I did some reading, I did some writing. I wandered around the lovely shops in Cardiff, one of my favourite places. Our daughter went to university there, so I've got to know it quite well. And it got to the first evening, and I thought, right, where shall I eat? No, in fact, the second evening. The first evening, I just got some sandwiches and had them in my hotel room. And then I thought, I'd actually really like to go out. I had some Tesco Club Card vouchers, so I thought, yes, there's a Prezzo in Cardiff, I'll go there. So I turned up and I sat down, I ordered my food, and I thought I could either get my book out now, I could look at my phone, or I could get my iPad out or a magazine while I'm eating, because I was on my own, I had nobody else to talk to. But what I decided to do was put all those things away and just experience the meal. I thought, I'm going to decide to taste every mouthful. And I did, and you know, it was the best meal I'd ever had. It was very simple, but I chewed my food slowly, and I really, really tasted. And I'd really encourage you to do that. It's so easy, isn't it, to rush through our food, just see food as function, just to keep us going. But actually, experience your food. Really enjoy the sense of taste that we've been given. Something I do as part of my daily week is I walk. That's my exercise. And we've got a lovely hill at the back of our house, Primrose Woods, over in Weston. And I walk up the hill 3 times a week. I like my routine. But it's been very muddy, children, really muddy. And what do you think? What sound? Yeah, I've had to wear welly boots. What sort of sound has the mud made? Squelchy. What did you say? Squelchy. What did you say? So slip, squelch, squirch. Yes, have you got another one? It's really good, and the mud is very sticky. And yes, I felt it a few times when I've slipped over, but it's very, very muddy at the moment. The other thing that happens, it's very windy. What sort of sound do you think that is? A howling noise, yes, and I had a good wind sound here. Swooshing. And what do you think it does to the trees? They do bend. They go like that. So there's lots to look at on my walks. I have to open lots of gates. What sound does a gate make? They are creaky. I think they need a bit of oiling, don't they? Sometimes they bang closed, yes. So I walk up the hill and I try and use all my senses. Now, one of my favourite sounds, and sometimes I hear it, sometimes I don't. It depends whether it's windy. There's lots of new trees there and there are no leaves on at the moment. And what happens is the branches go like that. See, I told you I can't manage this. So they go together. I don't want to give the word away. They what? They do. They rub together, but it's a really lovely sound. Anybody know what this sound might be with these trees with no leaves? It's a bit like a clapping. Because it's wood banging together. Any ideas of a good sound? It is a bit like that. But the word I came up with was clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Can you all say that? Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. And you know, it's such a lovely sound. I was so thrilled with it that I got my phone out and recorded it. My family wondered what on earth I was going on about when I said, listen to this, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. One of my favourite sounds, so I love windy walks. But you know, sometimes I go on my walk and I don't see anything and I don't hear anything, I don't notice anything. And that's because my mind is somewhere else. I'm either thinking about something I've got to do the next day, I'm worried about something, I'm trying to work out the solution to a problem, but I miss everything. And that's really sad. I'll come back from my walk and I couldn't tell you anything about it. All I know is that I've been chewing over something and I come back a bit fed up, really. So that's something I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stay in the present moment, really enjoy what is around me and listen to all the lovely sounds, listen to God's whispers. God's whispering to us all the time, but we need to tune in. We need to stop the inner noise, and we need to tune our ears in. So we've all got senses, and we need to use them, and we can train them. And life will look very different, because God's showing us things all the time. Thank you, Richard.
Tori's going to come and help us to experience something. And Tim, I wonder whether you've got those bags. And Tori's got. So we've got two things to go round. One I want you to fill up. So Tim, come right to the front. Kids, have you got any coins in your pockets? Anyone got any coins? Just quick nod, shake your head. Okay, so we'll start halfway up. You don't need to give it around the kids. You don't have to give it around the kids. So just start up. If these bags are going to go round, so Tim, just hand them over to, give one to Angelos and give one to anybody. That's great. So what I want you to do is put some stuff into this bag. And then Tori's got another basket, and I want you to take some stuff out of this basket, okay? That's great. Okay, so Tori, I'll leave this here, and you can explain.
So in my work, I'm working with people who are experiencing a kind of tiredness, we call it fatigue, and it's actually stopping them from living their lives properly. And some of them have had to stop working. They find it very hard to run their lives or to look after their children, and that can get very difficult. And one of the things that we have to do as therapists is help people to find the ability to rest. And people find that really very difficult because they find it hard to sit still, for a start. And often when they do sit still, their minds are very busy with thoughts and worries, plans they're making, memories from the past. And it's very hard to stop and be in the present moment. And we try and introduce them to something called mindfulness. And that's a way of stopping what you're doing and becoming aware of what's happening in the here and now. And actually, it's amazing how much of our lives we just are doing stuff without really stopping to pay attention to what's actually happening in our bodies or in the room around us, and paying attention to our thoughts and our emotions. So it's something that people find quite hard, and sometimes we introduce little exercises to help them to do that. And mindful eating can be a fun way to start to learn that. I mean, how often have you had a chocolate bar and you open it and then suddenly you've got the wrapper in your hand and the chocolate's gone, and you haven't really taken time to notice and to savour the flavour and enjoy it? And that's really what mindfulness is about, helping you to actually enjoy and notice the moment. So we're going to try a mindfulness exercise using Werther's Originals. So I'm going to pass the baskets round, and if you could just take one and pass the basket on, but please try not to unwrap it just yet. You'll find it quite hard, but actually, please, if you can, that would be great. Okay, so before we start, just try to get yourself as comfortable as possible in your seat. And just notice how your legs and your feet feel. Try to relax them. And try to let go of any tension. And then when you've got perhaps when you've got the sweet in your hand, just close your eyes for a minute and notice your shoulders. Notice your arms and hands, and let the tension go out of them. Try to relax your hands, your arms, and let your shoulders sink into a relaxed state. Maybe place a hand on your tummy so that you can feel the air come in and out as you breathe. And now focus on your breath. Slowly breathe air into your body. First, in through your nose or mouth. Let it fill up your chest. Then fill up your tummy and feel your tummy rise as your lungs fill with air. And when your tummy's full of air, then slowly breathe out. First, empty the air from your tummy and feel it gets smaller as the air goes out. Just notice what it feels like to breathe. And then you can slowly open your eyes and prepare to begin the mindful eating activity. So take the wrapped sweet in your hand, hold it in the palm of your hand, and notice the shiny paper, the colour, and the weight of it in your hand. And then slowly unwrap the sweet, and just notice the rustly sound of the paper. And then hold the unwrapped sweet in your hand and notice how different it looks without its shiny wrapper on. So just hold the sweet in your hand and think, well, what shape is it? What size is it? What colour is the sweet? Hold it to your nose and smell it. What do you notice about the smell? And what sensation do you notice in your mouth as you look at the sweet? And what's the feeling in your tummy? Hold the sweet in your fingers and just look at it in your grasp. What does the sweet feel like in your hand? What's its texture? What's its temperature? How heavy is it? And then bring the sweet slowly to your lips. And before putting it in your mouth, just pause and be aware of what you're experiencing in your mouth. And then slowly open your mouth and place the sweet on your tongue for a moment without biting into it or chewing it. Feel what your mouth wants to do with this. Take a few moments to feel its texture on your tongue and in your mouth. What do you taste? And now bite it or crunch it or suck it, just noticing what you taste and what it feels like. Does the taste and feeling change as you're chewing? And feel the flavour going down as you swallow. Refocus on your mouth. Notice your stomach and what it may be feeling. And notice what you are feeling. Okay, and just enjoy the rest of your sweet. You've now finished the exercise.